I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Matt Duchesne of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Justus Aros of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Ryan Johansson of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started on the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. And once you're good and educated about the show, you can click on that merchandise tab. That's going to take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, our special event t-shirts, and, well, so much more. All of the logos you've come to love and expect from Renegades of Puck still in our online store. Socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, and so much more. You can outfit your entire person or your entire home with Renegades of Puck merchandise, and we sure would appreciate it if you would go ahead and do just that. After all, we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this independent hockey operation, so listen up, Renegades. Here's how you can help support the cause. Please, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Those are the social media platforms where you can find us. YouTube, you can give us a subscription, turn on that notification button right there, and that would be of great help to this operation right here known as the Renegades of Puck. Now, when it comes to audio podcasts, thanks to the Full Press NHL Network, we are being heard by more Renegades than ever before. We recently crossed over 2 million listens and replays for the year, and we are already on our way to a very good month. So please check out the podcast on some of the following platforms. Search Renegades of Puck in your preferred platform, or check out these different examples: Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, Google. Again, I already said Google. Well, maybe you should check it out then. The audio podcast is doing great right now, and we sure do appreciate everybody for checking out. Again, stick taps, love, and respect to everybody behind the scenes of the Full Press NHL Network for taking care of the Renegades of Puck and making sure that we are on more platforms and being heard by more Renegades than ever before. Venmo, that's how you can become a sponsor or just make a financial donation here to the show. This independent hockey operation is in business thanks to generous Renegades just like you out there watching and listening to this podcast right now. We've made significant upgrades. We've chronicled it for months now. The microphone, the computer, the lighting, the soundboard, everything here in the bunker we have been able to make significant upgrades on. And now that we are getting into the summer months, we are looking to make another season of upgrades. So very much appreciate every donation you can possibly make. Every dollar goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck. Now, listen, I know it's time for the No Half Step Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It's time for operation number 756. That's right, show number 756. And at this moment in hockey history, with the Milwaukee Admirals' backs against the wall going into Game 4, they have managed to force a Game 5, a pivotal deciding series Game 5, on home ice on Saturday night in Milwaukee. Let's review how we got there in the series, and then we'll recap every play of the pivotal Game 4 that just wrapped up a matter of minutes ago. In Game 1 of the series, it was the Admirals defeating Manitoba in Manitoba 6-2 to take a 1-0 lead in the series. Never a game, 3-0 early in the first period, and the Admirals would continue to dominate that entire game. Then it was on Sunday, on April the 30th, when Manitoba scored a 3-2 victory in overtime to even the series up on home ice. Series switches to Milwaukee, but the result stays exactly the same as Manitoba scores another 3-2 victory in overtime, this time to take a 2-1 series lead. Now, with their backs against the wall, the Admirals went into action on Friday night and secured a 5-3 victory to tie the series, and in less than 24 hours now, will have to face off against the Manitoba Moose in a pivotal Game 5. This will be the second year in a row that these two teams have met in this round and gone the distance into a fifth game. Last year, Game 5 ended with Milwaukee defeating Manitoba 2-1 to take the series. This year, we'll find out exactly what is going to happen. We have so much to talk about when it comes to this series and the Calder Cup playoff bracket update as well. Let's talk about the bracket update first. It is the Texas Stars moving on through, and they will face the winner of Milwaukee-Manitoba Game 5 in the next round of the playoffs. Texas Stars swept Rockford 3-0 in this round. It is currently The Calgary Flames leading Abbotsford 2-1 in their series. Coachella, Colorado currently playing in a pivotal deciding series, Game 5. The winner of each of those series will meet in the next round. The Eastern Conference side of things already a little bit more clear. Hartford has beaten Providence 3-1 in their best of 5 series and now will face off against Hershey, who defeated Charlotte 3-1 in their series. Toronto defeated Utica 3-1 in their best of 5 series, and Syracuse and Rochester will go to a Game 5 to determine who gets to face off against Toronto. That gets you caught up on the current Calder Cup playoff bracket, so we are almost set here in the next round of matchups. Quickly updating you on the statistics for the Milwaukee Admirals through 4 games in this series. Jordan Gross leading the team in scoring 2 goals and 4 assists for 6 total points. It is Sherwood with 2 goals and 4 assists, also 6 points. Luke Evangelista 2 and 3 for 5 points. Sanford 2 and 1 for 3. Del Gazzo 1 goal, 2 assists for 3 points. And Joachim Kemmel 1 goal and 1 assist for 2 points. But the caveat and the difference with him, only skated in 2 games, so 2 points in 2 games so far. Gross, Sherwood, Evangelista each pacing over a point per game so far in this series. In net, Askarov is 2-2 with a .908 save percentage, a 2.68 goals against average. Now, when it comes to his regular season numbers, that .908 save percentage just a little bit below his regular season numbers of .911, and the 2.69 goals against average in the regular season is just 1 percentage lower than 2.68 that he has so far in the playoffs. So the postseason numbers are very much lining up with the regular season numbers for Yaroslav Askarov so far in this Calder Cup playoff run. That's going to do it for getting you all set up for the beginnings of Game 5. Let's go back and review everything that happened in Game 4 and the reason that we have a Game 5. It's called the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap, and it's coming up next.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
We go all the way back to May 5th of the year 2023 when the Milwaukee Admirals were hosting the Manitoba Moose in Game 4 of the Calder Cup Best of 5 playoff series. Your starting forwards taking the opening drop, Sherwood, Jankowski, and Evangelista. The rest of the forward grouping go as follows: Schneider, Sanford, and Tomasino, Rushoff, Huntington, and Kemmel, Afanasyev, McCarron, and Angelo. Your defensive pairings, McEwen and Del Gazzo, Stastny and Wilsby, Gross and Thompson, and of course, Yaroslav Askarov getting the 4th consecutive start in net for the Milwaukee Admirals. We are 2:41 into the first period, and it is Salmonen coming up with a save on Schneider. It's the first shot on goal of the game for either team. 3:19 in the first period. Sherwood's off to the box, 2 minutes for slashing. That's the first penalty of the game. It's going to be Askarov coming up with a save on Chisholm, but it's going to be Morellis with his first goal of the game, and that's going to give Manitoba a 1-0 lead. It was a short-handed turnover. The Admirals had a good rush and scoring opportunity, but an errant pass led to a turnover and a 3-on-2 rush going the other way. Morales with a sweet finish off of the rush, giving the Moose a 1-0 lead. We go to 6:06 of the first period. It's Meyer off the box, minutes for slashing. This gives the Admirals their first power play opportunity of the game. And then Toninato is off to the box, 2 minutes for high sticking. That's going to give the Admirals a 5-on-3 power play for 1 minute and 42 seconds. That's where Salmon is going to come with a save on Jankowski and then come up with another save on Gross. We hit the 5-on-4 portion of this, and that's where Sanford is cashing in for the Milwaukee Admirals. It was a give and go with Tomasino in the backhand finish from in close range for his second goal of the series, tying the game up at 1 apiece. Now the Milwaukee Admirals 1, Manitoba Moose 1 in the first period. We go to 8:51 of the first period. Doug Eisler's off the box, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Askarov comes up with a save on Bon Giovanni. Strong overall PK by the Admirals. 12:22 of the first period. Salmonen comes up with a save on Huntington. 12:51. Askarov comes with a save on Stewart. Plus, Gavake follow up night. 14:54. Salmonen comes with a save on Evangelista through some heavy traffic. And then at 18:45 of the first period, Stastny's first goal of the playoffs comes on a delayed penalty own goal. A combination of words, maybe a sequence you have thought about at some point in time, perhaps maybe somewhere along the way you have seen it. I have actually seen it at some point in time, but on the delayed penalty call, what we saw right here was the Moose attempt to play the puck back to the point. The pass goes right past the blue line and all the way down off of the post into their own net. It is classified as an empty net goal. Stastny, being the last Milwaukee Admirals player to touch the puck, is awarded the goal. It is his first of the playoffs, and it gives Milwaukee a 2-1 lead over the Manitoba Moose here in the first period. For the Admirals, they haven't caught a lot of bounces or breaks so far in this series. This certainly is one of the rarest breaks you're going to catch in all of hockey. At 18:45 of the first period, Rushov's off to the box, 2 minutes for slashing, and we hit the intermission with Milwaukee holding a 2-1 lead and out shooting Manitoba 11-5. Carryover of 45 seconds of the power play for the Moose into the second period. Skarov comes over with a save on Toninato. We go back to even strength at 1:19 of the second period. Heinola's off to the box, 2 minutes for holding, and that's when Kemmel's going to get his first goal of the playoffs. It was a one-timer from the left circle just inside the post. Reminded me a lot of Eli Tolvanen when he was part of the Nashville Predators organization, and absolutely a great goal here by Kemmel. Milwaukee ahead with the power play goal now 3-1 in the second period. 3:02 the second period. Malot's off to the box, 2 minutes for tripping, and you know what? Not much happening on this power play. Kind of surprising not much happening. The power play has been really good throughout this series. 7:25 of the second period. Skarov comes up with a save on Malott. Close range shot scoring opportunity right here. 8:16 of the second. Huntington's off the box, 2 minutes for hooking. Now, Askarov has not had a whole lot of work to this point in this game, but he is about to go to work with a big save on Limoges, and then with another save on Malott. Step out, move from below the goal line, then another save on Gavanke before the end of the power play. Some of the best pressure of the game for the Moose came on this power play opportunity. 11:32 of the second period. Salmon comes with the save on Sherwood off of the rush. 12:32 behind the play. Rushoff and Gavanka are roughing it up, and they'll both be off to the box for 2 minutes. That's going to lead to a 4-on-4 situation that actually looked a whole lot more like a Milwaukee Admirals power play. This 4-on-4 out there just absolutely favored Milwaukee in every way. They controlled the puck for almost the full 2 minutes. Salmon came up with a save on Angelo. Salmon came up with a save on Tomasino, and I believe 2, maybe 3 more saves by the end of this 4-on-4. Just absolutely the most dominant 4-on-4 that I think I've ever seen. It looked better than the previous Milwaukee Admirals power play. That is for absolute certain. Now, at 15:49 of the second period, it is going to be Sherwood's second of the series, giving Milwaukee a 4-1 lead. It was a breakaway after a turnover and a sweet backhand finish. Salmonen got completely faked out of position, still made the barrel roll and almost got the leg over the top in time to get to it, but Sherwood with the clean finish on the breakaway. Again, 4-1 now in favor of the Milwaukee Admirals. Now, 16:19 of the second period, all hell is breaking loose. We've got the penalty boxes filling to capacity, and we're going to end up with the boxes full, and the Manitoba Moose are going to end up with a 2-minute power play out of this entire thing. We had all 10 skaters on the ice square off, pushing, shoving, nothing more serious than some minors given out, but a whole lot of minors giving out. And don't lie, you thought you saw Askarov coming in the background there, and I would not have been surprised for 1 second, but I'm glad he was able to maintain his composure. I know how much he wanted to get in on the fun and would have enjoyed getting in on the fun, but I'm glad he maintained his composure right here. Now, immediately on the Moose power play, Bongiovanni picks up a penalty, 2 minutes for roughing, so we end up at the 4-on-4 neutral situation after all. At 19:18, the second period, Askarov comes up with a save on Olini. 19:27, Salmonen comes up with a save on McCarron. We hit the end of an eventful second period, and it is Milwaukee out shooting Manitoba 19-11 and holding a commanding 4-1 lead. But is the most dangerous lead in hockey a 3-goal lead? Let's find out in the final 20. 42 seconds into the third period, it is Askarov coming up with a save on Meyer. 1:59 of the third period. Milwaukee picks up a bench minor for too many men. Sloppy play 2 minutes in to the period here, and that's when Harkins is going to make him pay his third goal of the series. It's a wrist shot from the high slot. It's off of the post and in. Really sweet wrist shot right here. Milwaukee now has a 4-2 lead lead over Manitoba. 2:50 into the third period, Askarov comes up with a save on Olini. 3:56, Askarov comes up with a save on Malott. But at 4:43, it's Bongiovanni, his second goal of the series. It's a rebound put back. It trickled through and did just enough to find its way over the goal line. And at this point in time, with Milwaukee now holding a 4-3 lead, things are getting mighty uncomfortable in Milwaukee, and it is time for a timeout. The Moose are dominating. 5 shots on goal and just controlling the ice completely, looking like they are skating and playing at a much higher level. After the timeout, things do calm down for the next couple of minutes. At 6:49, we see Askarov come over with a save on Gavanki. At 10:03, Salmonen finally getting involved in the period. He comes with a save on McCarron's, the first shot on goal for the Milwaukee Admirals. Took them 10 minutes to generate a shot on net in the third period. 11:13 of the third period, Salmonen comes with a save on Jankowski, and at this point, the Admirals are starting to regain their footing in this game. It is 15:32 into the third period now. Alini's off to the box. 2 minutes for cross-checking on Sherwood after the play, and honestly, a terrible penalty. Down by 1 late in the game. It was more of a reactionary penalty than was necessary. Obviously, it happened after the play was completely over. On the penalty kill, it would be Salmonen coming up with a save on Sherwood, then coming up with another save on Gross. The 2 minutes would pass by. We would get to the 6-on-5 scenario with the empty net for the Manitoba Moose. In 1926, Askarov would come up with a save on Gavanke. 1942, Rushoff would come up with the empty net goal for Milwaukee, putting this game away. It was his second of the series. Comes from just inside of his own blue line, slides it right down and in, and the home crowd gets to put hands up and celebrate. 5-3 is your final score. It is Milwaukee out shooting Manitoba 28-19 and forcing Game 5 on home ice. You fought all season long to get this game at home, and now by beating Manitoba in the regular season by 5 points in the standings, getting second place, not third place in the Central Division, that's why you'll be hosting Game 5. Now, last year it was the Admirals able to go on the road and secure the victory 2-1 in Game 5 in Manitoba. This year they've got the opportunity to host, and the offense woke up in this game for a total of 5 goals. They caught a couple of breaks, but sometimes you need a couple of breaks to get you going. We'll talk about that a little bit more extensively, in a little bit more detail in the full analysis and the box score and stats and opinions coming up here in just a matter of moments. But that is going to do it for the Game 4 full game recap. Thank you so much, Stick Taps, love, and respect to Rebirth Sports for sponsoring the Rebirth Sports full game recap.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Askarov was 16 out of 19 in this game. He picks up the victory. You know what? That's a very light workload, and aside from being shorthanded of a couple of stretches, really was not over-tested in this game. So he was able to maintain his focus and his discipline at times when all hell was breaking loose in other areas of the ice. You know he wanted to jump in and get involved. It's in his nature. He's drawn to the flame. You know he definitely wanted to get down and get involved. I'm glad he maintained his composure, his focus, stayed in his net, and secured the victory. This is an important game for Yaroslav Askarov and the Milwaukee Admirals. With their backs against the wall, a lot is expected of them. A lot of people are anticipating this team is going to make a deep run, and Askarov is going to be a huge part of that. He needed a game where things settled down. I thought that he was very good and he was very competent. It was a much better game, and there was not that knucklehead goal that we've seen in each of the previous games in this series. One coming in from the red line, one going in front of breakaway where you're diving completely out of the way. You know the examples. You've been watching. In the series, 109 out of 120, a 908 save percentage, a 2.68 goals against average. And again, much better in Game 4. And he's got the biggest opportunity of his young career coming up in Game 5 against the Manitoba Moose. And that's going to happen in less than 24 hours. Now, 2 empty net goals. I mean, listen, it's not the first time you've heard of 2 empty net goals. You know, the end of a game, a score goes from suddenly being a 1-goal lead to a 2 and a 3-goal lead, and it's suddenly a blowout. But this is not the scenario that this happened in. What about an empty net goal in the first period? When's the last time you've heard of that scenario? When's the last time that you've heard of a delayed penalty own goal that ends up being credited to the last player on the home team that ended up touching on the scoring team that ended up touching the puck? Well, in this case, Stastny ends up scoring the empty net goal on the delayed penalty as the Manitoba Moose played the puck back to the blue line. It went past the blue line all the way down the ice and into their own net. Nothing they could do about it. And then at the end of the game, Rushoff with the traditional empty net goal, the 5th goal of the game for the Milwaukee Admirals, the insurance goal, the one that allowed everybody to take the deep breath. And to be honest with you, that was a really good hustle effort right there. Rushoff was engaged in a battle out there by the blue line. He forced the turnover. He got the puck and snapped it down the ice as quickly as he possibly could. It was a lightning quick turnover to firing puck down the ice for empty net goal. And it closes out the game where it had become much tighter than it should have there in the third period. So 2 empty net goals for the Milwaukee Admirals in this game, and it could not be under more different circumstances. Kemmel and that power play goal, the one-timer, I said it earlier, reminded me of Eeli Tolvanen when we got to watch Eeli Tolvanen here with the Admirals and with the Nashville Predators. And it reminds me of other classics and greats with the big, heavy one-timer coming from the circle over there on the left-hand side. For Kemmel, that was great to see. A goal and an assist in the series now in just 2 games played. Very excited. I got to watch him up close and personal in development camp this past season. I was very impressed with what I saw for the age that he is at, the experience that he has. I felt like he certainly is a very smooth player on the offensive side of things. Great to see him already getting showed off in this series. That one-timer was highly impressive. And Sherwood, that breakaway finish, absolutely faking Salmonen out of his position and making him go into a barrel roll in a desperation attempt to try to stop that puck. Sherwood tucks it in on the backhand, no problem. Great to see Sherwood out there doing what he is doing so far in this series. 2 goals, 4 assists for 6 points. That's tied for the team lead, and he has come back from the Nashville Predators and is certainly playing at a very high level. Out of the players that's come back, he and Evangelista are certainly performing at the best possible level out of those 7 that came back down from the Nashville Predators there at the end of the season. Sanford's power play goal, got to give credit right there. That was a really nice backhand finishing close to give and go. Good high skill play right there. Tomasino in there on the give and go. And you know what? Sanford's power play goal, I'm very happy about that, but it's the Tomasino assist that I want to talk about more than anything. The Tomasino assist, he was more noticeable in this game, and I've got to tell you, I did drag Philip Tomasino quite a bit in the last game, and that's because I have such high expectations of Philip Tomasino. Over the last 2 years of watching him here in Nashville, of course, getting to follow him while he's in Milwaukee, I have come to expect that Philip Tomasino is going to be a long-time NHL player and a very capable, very steady a guy and someone who can possibly wear a letter on his jersey at some point in time for the organization. So when I saw Philip Tomasino in the first 3 games of the series not contributing in any meaningful way, of course that is going to raise an eyebrow and become of concern. I was glad to see him pick up an assist, but I still think he has room to go. I would love to see Philip Tomasino come out and have a huge Game 5 in helping lead the Milwaukee Admirals into the next round of the playoffs. I have high expectations for his career, therefore I may critique him a little bit higher than I do some of the other prospects at where they are in their career. I believe Philip Tomasino is a full-time Nashville Predator after this run in the Calder Cup is over. And I think that Philip Tomasino is going to have a very, very good career in the National Hockey League. But I expect more of him in this series. And I am happy to see him pick up an assist. It is an uptick and is trending in the right direction. Now let's see that continue, and let's see a dominant performance in Game 5 from Philip Tomasino. In the third period, it didn't need to be that exciting. It was 4-1 going into the third period. The Admirals just did not start the third period like a team looking to step on their opponent. As a matter of fact, the Manitoba Moose came out and really showed something right there. The Moose easily could have rolled over down 4-1 and said, Game 5's tomorrow, no problem. They came out looking to make a statement, come back in this game, and dominated the first several minutes of the third period, scoring 2 goals and coming close to tying the game up on 1 or 2 other opportunities. I believe there was a post hit and there was another rebound that trickled just wide. It's a good thing after the timeout, and that is another thing you need to point out right there. Carl Taylor calling the timeout at exactly the right moment and settling the team down. The team responded to Carl Taylor. Again, another example, another reason why I think so highly of Carl Taylor as a head coach. So after giving up those 2 goals in the third period, making it a 4-3 game, the timeout comes. Carl Taylor settles the team down, and they're able to get back to playing a good enough game, tilting the ice back in their favor just a little bit in the second half of the third period, getting the empty net goal and getting out of there with the 2-goal victory, 5-3. But your third period, you didn't have to make it so damn interesting. Yes, it's the playoffs and it's exciting, and 1-goal games are fun and they keep people on the edge of their seat. But up 4-1, looking to force a Game 5 less than 24 hours later, I would hope you could have calmed things down just a little bit. Just glad you came away with the victory in the end. That is, after all, the only thing that was important tonight. Game 5 will take place on Saturday night, of course, on home ice versus the Manitoba Moose. That's going to do it for the analysis. Lots of information, lots of opinions right there, and a lot of good hockey talk on all things Milwaukee Admirals, Manitoba Moose. We'll be back with the box score, the stats, and we'll also close it out. We got to get you guys set. Game 5 is coming up in just a matter of hours, so we got to get this show turned around. We got to get this thing on the air, and we got to get you all set for Game 5. So we'll be right back right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm Crazy Charlie Saunier, host and captain of the award-winning Renegades of Puck podcast, and I'm pausing the show for just a moment to talk to you about Brandy over at Stripe Digital Solutions. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me build a media empire as an independent entity here at the Renegades of Puck. Whether it's graphic design, as you can see on the wall behind me, creating the logo for the show, our t-shirt designs right here, our special event posters. When it comes to graphic design, the Renegades of Puck have been able to compete with any other operation on the planet, no matter what level of business they are. You will also be able to compete. My website looks as good as anyone's on the planet and is updated perfectly. Brandy does an incredible job when it comes to all of the different facets of digital management. Trust me. With the decentralization of social media as we are currently undergoing, it is more critical than ever to have a strong website, and Brandy over at Stripe Digital Solutions is going to help you create that. Brandy has gone above and beyond at every opportunity to help me when it comes to special event planning, building graphics, and anything else that the Renegades of Puck operations needed. You see this coffee mug right here? Created by Stripe Digital Solutions. The pins, the set, everything around you, assisted, created, or made by Stripe Digital Solutions. I could not be a successful podcast owner and operator today if it wasn't for the assistance of Stripe Digital Solutions. Brandy, stick taps, love, and respect. Stripe Digital Solutions has made the Renegades of Puck one of the most successful hockey podcasts on the entire Full Press NHL network. When it comes to the box score, it is it's kind of weird. You got Sanford, and then, of course, you have Kemmel, and then you have Sherwood with goals, and then empty net goals from Rushoff and Stastny on the assist side of things, because there was 2 empty net goals. There were 2 unassisted empty net goals. There were more goals in this game than there were assists. So there are 5 goals, and there are only a total of 4 assists in this game. The assists go to Luke Evangelista, Phil Tomasino, Jordan Gross, and Michael McCarron. And when it comes to the shots on goal category, team was led by Kiefer Sherwood with 5 shots on goal. Mark Jankowski had 3. Jordan Gross also had 3 shots on net. In net, Yaroslav Askarov comes up 16 out of 19, secures the victory, 59-34 in total time on ice. Now a record of 2-2 in the series. Couple other numbers to send your way. Shots on goal still being dominated by the Manitoba Moose, but this was the first game of the series where the Milwaukee Admirals outshot Manitoba. This was 28-19. Now in the series, Manitoba out shooting Milwaukee through 4 games, 120 to 110. Special teams, the power play and the PK for the Admirals was dominating through the first couple of games of the series. Things have evened out just a little bit now. The power play for the Milwaukee Admirals, 5 out of 15 in the series, but the Manitoba Moose have certainly cracked that now. 3 out of 16. The PK was absolutely dominant. They killed off the first 9 in the series. And now they've given up 3 power play goals on the last 7 opportunities against. So that's going to do it for the stats, and that's going to get you all set up for everything that's going to happen in Game 5. Game 5, the winner is going to take on the Texas Stars in the next round. The Texas Stars had a sweep, and they're sitting around, they're watching, they're waiting, and they're enjoying the hell out of these two teams, absolutely filling up the penalty box and having close games in the third period and these multiple overtime games of the series. The Texas Stars are just sitting back. The Stars won the division by 3 points over the Admirals this season, and they swept Rockford in the first round. Now they wait for the winner of this series. Game 5, it's truly magic. The winner takes all in this series. Now, the Admirals have come back and tied it with their backs against the wall at 2 apiece. They'll have an opportunity that they fought all season long to get this game, this deciding game in the series, on their home ice in their home rink, and that's exactly what they're going to have. I know it's going to be a huge crowd, a rocking rink on a Saturday night, big crowd on a Friday night. That was really great to see. They were loud, they were proud, they had their goalie chants going, and they definitely were giving the ref the business at different times of the game. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch Game 5. The only thing I worry about is the quick turnaround, less than 24 hours. Askarov is young, but he is not unbreakable. I wonder how this is going to affect. It was a light workload tonight. That is the one thing that is a benefit. I wish it hadn't become so interesting in the third period in such a close game. That would give the Admirals a little bit more benefit. Carl Taylor is going to probably make a couple of adjustments, maybe in the forward grouping, bring as many fresh bodies into the lineup as possible. It was great to see the offense, 5 goals in this game after only being able to generate 4 goals in the previous 2 games combined. So the Admirals seem to have found their groove. It wasn't their best game. I think they still have another gear to go and another level to climb. And I hope that happens in Game 5. And I really hope it's led by Philip Tomasino. I would really love to see that. We'll be here in the bunker talking about it, covering it, breaking it down. We'll give you the full game recap of Game 5. And hopefully we'll be able to start previewing the next round of the Milwaukee Admirals versus the Texas Stars. Very much looking forward to an opportunity to talk about a series like that here from the bunker. Sure to appreciate each and every one of you checking out the show. We've had so much good feedback and so many downloads, replays, and so much good reaction to everything we've been doing with the Calder Cup playoffs and Milwaukee Admirals. So we sure do appreciate that. As a matter of fact, we appreciate your viewership. We appreciate your time. And most importantly, we appreciate you. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.